Who do you love? Who do you love the most? They asked this girl I once knew. She was 8 years old and she seemed to be in absolute love with paper planes. She sat on a swing at the park. The kids around her called her crazy, but it didn't seem to bother her. Her world was blue hippos and pink bears and yellow trees and green oceans. She narrated to her mother fantastic fantasies. She loved it because there was enough time to play. She took the second last seat in the bus when she was 10. She looked at the playground with a fixed gaze. They called her weird and snatched paper planes from her hands. She went back home, but mother didn't ask about her day. She wasn't enjoying this. Now here at new school, there are no playgrounds. She wants to take up less space, so she cuts her hair off. She is told that she should be ashamed of the stretch marks and freckles that map her body. She is uncomfortable in her own skin. She wishes she wasn't 13. Hello everyone, I'm Aastha Agrawal, and this isn't my story, it is hers. It can be yours too. She thought it would be easier as she grows up, but now she's afraid of what they will think of her. So she goes back to the very same park and sits on the swing seat. She's now learned to hate all kids and all playgrounds. She wishes she could go back to the time when she didn't care, be carefree and reckless. She wishes she didn't need to be confined in these lines. Until she notices a crumpled paper plane lying at her feet. And in that very moment, it hit her like a train. She told herself it's not all rainbows and sunshine, but a good amount of it actually is. So here once again, her thoughts are flooded with blue hippos and pink bears and yellow trees and green oceans. So what she does is, she picks up the paper ball and rolls it open. With every wrinkle that she smoothens out, it just makes a little more sense to her. She tells herself that she realizes that there are only two things that were holding her back. Only two. Number one, when she woke up last night in cold sweat and thought that she was so lonely, she said, "Oh God, if only someone can hold me, I can be saved." So what she did was, she wrapped her own arms around herself. She told herself, "I don't need any prince or the brave one to come save me. I am not the princess, I am the queen. The queen for whom this world will come crumbling down on its knees. And no one can tell me that I should be ashamed of those stretch marks and scars and bruises and tan lines, because they are the sign that I have lived, that I have grown, that I have fallen down but gotten back up again. They are the proofs that the sun shines on me." Number two, she recollected the conversation she had with this girl at the hospital who had only a few days to live. She remembers the guilt in her heart before she could ask that girl, how does she feel, because she was afraid she'd be judged for wasting the precious little time that girl had left with her. But that girl contently replied, "I know that you are concerned about my short life. Well, at least I wake up every day prepared that this can be my last, when you all pretend it cannot be yours too." So she gave up the idea of doing something great every day to make herself happy. Instead, she started looking for happiness in the little things around her. Romanticism. Romanticism ruins things for us. It creates a picture in our mind and gets our hopes high, ultimately to only learn that there is no such thing and we are disappointed. So why to fall in love with the idea or the nostalgia when you have such an awesome reality to love? So today, if you ask her who does she love, she looks at the blue veins in her wrists and remembers that hemoglobin is nothing but 4 molecules of iron. The same iron that can only and only naturally be produced in the core of a star. So she remembers she is made of stardust. She remembers to live for the little things, live for 6 a.m. sunrises and 6 p.m. sunsets, Live for road trips with the best music in the ears and wind in her hair. Live for people who make you feel that this world is so beautiful in its own usual chaos. I didn't realize how big the little things were until I was missing them, she said. Because when you start looking for beauty, that is where the good things come in. You see your world heal, because good things come for those who are willing to look for them. And if you think there's nothing to be happy about, are you sure that we are living on the same planet?